we doing it? Are we here? Are we live? Have all the requisite toggles been toggled and switches been switched and buttons been buttoned? Daz, hello. So far, just you and me. We're going to have a great time. Quacko, hello. Mysterious, hello. Man, everyone on Twitter. Literally no one on Twitter? Twitch. I don't know what I'm talking about. Julian, hello. Timska, hello. Mo, hello. I wanted to have this ready for when he starts, to have some like background jams, but as always, I was very ill prepared, and alas, it did not. Whoa! The game just launched straight in past the menu, straight to the game. Gonna pretend I didn't see that because that sounds like a bug I've got to fix. But yeah, here we are. Wait for people to arrive. Connor, hello. Andre, hello. People 45M4. Glad you're here. Let's do it. Yep. Well, wait for me to draw it. Spoiler alert, I have. Oh, if you think I don't normally have a plan for these streams, I have even less of a plan for today's stream. Purely because, like, audio, done, mate, completed it. Then what to do next? I'm gonna bring up the Jira board, and we'll do some planning poker, and we'll prioritize for the next quarter. Do some sprint planning, maybe even a retro. I should have this on loop the whole time. Cloud, hello. It's nothing but professional work in this stream. Nothing but the highest levels of professionalism are met and maintained throughout. It's a professional outfit. Oh, I like how... I know this isn't the big screen. I've not moved in yet. I like how this is all black. That's exciting. Is that because we didn't bother texturing it? Is it black on the... I like how it's not black on the other side. That is also exciting. Fun. Pretend I didn't see that. Okay, let's press the button. Let's stick me in a little box with misery. So this is what we got. We got some mechanics, although they're not that great. We got some broken lights. We've got a terrible looking level. We've got some sweet audio that loops. We have no game sound effects. We have pause-ish menu. It does look like some textures missing, although I can't remember if that was by design, because some of them looked absolutely shite. That is a professional term, by the way. But all in all, like, I think for a couple of months, for like 9 months work, which is only really about 4 hours a week, really, I don't think it's too bad. Like, I really don't think it's too bad, because there's a lot going on behind the scenes as well. We've obviously got like the integrated physics engine and a renderer, and we've got Lua scripting, and we've got whatever's going on here with the dynamic lighting. Really like that. That's pretty sweet. Whatever's going on there, like it. We've got normal. Well, theoretically we have normal maps. They're definitely not normal mapping at the moment. Okay. Let's bring up my other tab. Let me just close other tabs. Right. So this is basically how I'm planning my life. Look at all the stuff that I very confidently marked as done, even though you could pick any one of these and they are definitely not done. So this is an unordered list of like stuff, right, that I think we need to do. Like, there's no level physics, so you can clip through the walls, so that needs implementing. There is never tried a release build, not even once. Who knows? Could just work. Definitely anti-aliasing, definitely Mipmaps. Bloom, I'm willing to deprioritize that because I'm just not sure it's going to add much. Sal, I think we might want this in lieu of, or at least as a first pass of shadows, because shadows are a massive pain and I really don't want to do it. So, but I have done SSAO before, so I'm thinking maybe a couple of streams on that might make the game look just a little bit more believable. Oh, because at the moment everything basically just floats in the air. Package resources, that's like sticking it in like a Win32 resource, if possible, or just like tacking on the end. System info for login, I'm not too fussed. This is where in the logs it'll automatically populate like your CPU, your graphics card, that kind of thing. So for debugging issues people are having, it gives me more information. But as no one is really, there's a few people who have reported issues, but I don't think it's important. Most people just type out on Discord what their system specs are. Color log output, I'm not that fussed. Need to make the game borderless, handle the full screen, because at the moment no, very much pig stuck at 1080p, and of course the actual thing that makes the game, the levels. Actually, I suppose fix lighting. This little like board thing in GitHub's pretty good, but there's an awful lot of clicks to make a ticket. For me, I think the most important things in terms of like new functionality. There's a cat's been on my desk and everything's moved slightly. In terms of like new functionality, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I would say like the three main things we are missing are level physics, anti-aliasing, and Mipmaps. I think everything else is either a nice to have or builds on stuff we've already done. Mipmaps it should be trivial, but we've not done it yet. So maybe we'll start with Mipmaps, okay? Because I think do you need to update some of the samplers as well? Don't the samplers need mipmapping? I think the generation of them is one line. I think actually, I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've looked at them. So mipmaps are where you automatically generate smaller and smaller images. You get the graphics card to basically generate smaller downsampled sizes of all your textures, and then it does some clever maths interpolation. So you don't get that horrible like flickering, like the demoive into. Lock my screen. It's probably 60% keyboard. All the keys are very close together. You don't get the like interference patterns. I'll see if I can showcase it. I don't want to do anything with Mipmaps. Like I don't want to calculate them at all. I'm more than happy for OpenGL to like go at it. I think like, so if you can see in the where I need to hide the cursor as well. I don't know how obvious it is. You see all these like interference lines and patterns we get. That should, and I think you might be able to see it on the ceiling as well. It all kind of looks a bit rubbish. That should all go away. So that's probably a good one to do. Anti-aliasing again is kind of built into OpenGL. I'm probably just going to use MSAA or multi-sampling anti-aliasing. Like I've done FXAA before, FSAA, whatever the screen space one is that you compute in a shader. I just don't think it's worth it. I think I'm willing to take a slight performance hit and make my life easier and just use like 4 sampled MSAA or something like that. Yes, what that chap in the chat said. That's what I want. Again, I'm not a game dev. I'm not an expert in any of this. I'm figuring out a lot of it as I go along. And then level physics, I guess it is kind of not too much. Like it's made potentially a new application of the physics engine. I'm really not sure how to do this one. I don't know if I just set up a load of bounding boxes. Like because the level is static, I might just set up a bunch of bounding boxes and just check if the player clips into it and then like move them back. For the most part, that's what I shoot for in life. Okay, for the most part. So I think these are the 3 big technical things left to do, and I say big as in like could be a stream each or whatever, depending on how complicated they are. The rest, everything else is just kind of building on it, I guess, other than SSAO, which I would like to do, but I'm not sure where it fits into. Anyway, I've been chatting for long enough and not writing any code, so yes, I think we'll probably need to use a collider, but it's then how do you like reconcile that? Because at the moment, when 2 we manually do the collision resolution with the barrels. We basically just unwind the last movement. I don't know if that's going to work with the player. We'll see. Yeah, we'll give it a go. Yeah, I'm not really shooting for like obviously not AAA, definitely not AA, not even really A. I'm looking for like C level quality. That's what I'm shooting for, and to have fun and write some C++ and use modern C++. Let's have a look there. Ooh, steady. Okay, Mipmaps. I think there's just like some rune you need to draw in the sand to generate them. Mipmaps. I just it's the familiarity and ease of using OpenGL, I think, kind of trumps a lot of the potential misgivings. I want GL. Here's what I want. I have not. I'm not like massively into those kind of rage games, just because I find them quite rage-inducing and not particularly relaxing way to spend my time. Okay, GeoGenerator map. I think I want this one because I'm using DSA. If I oh god, it's been a while since I've looked at this. Generate map. So this will tell the graphics card to do the downsampling. I think in like Vulkan and DX12, you don't, like, this is gone. Oh, there's no equivalent of those. You have to do them yourself. I think a lot of articles I just need to remember, like, I just use a compute shader to calculate them. I was like, oh, okay, I'll just do that, shall I? So I think I just need to call this. I mean, if this just like we need to go to the list of Welsh town names, I suspect, because I can't imagine we have GL generates texture mipmap proc, GL generate texture mipmap. Okay, then let's go to the texture. Which are the ones do I want? I probably want this. I definitely don't want to use it for like the data ones, but of course a lot of these. This just calls this, that's fine. This is for the frame buffers and depth. Sorry, I'm just reminding myself what this code does. Obviously it does texture things, but I guess I want it after I've uploaded the texture data. So that's after texture storage and 2D, I think. GL generate texture mipmap. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Oh, that matters, but this should be, I should try and be consistent with the actual docs. I don't know, handle? You were expecting 2 arguments, but the docs definitely say you only take one. What fresh hell is this? Have I gotten... Is this... Oh, that's EXT, that's why. It's the bonus extension. I'm just going to slap this everywhere and see what happens. If it looks good, then, like... Wow. Tick. Go home early. I think you, from memory, I think you need to do something with the samplers, which means we can't just use one single sampler for everything, potentially. We'll see. Might means we need to build out our sampler abstraction a little bit better. But we'll just stand here in awkward silence as we watch the build slowly tick up or tick down, depending on your philosophical view. And music. And music. Music. Still looks like arse. Okay, more is required. Okay, let's have a look at here we go. So I'm just using the good old classic learn OpenGL. When switching between mipmap levels, just like normal text, also so I need to set this. So I want this, right? I guess I need to make sure I have this set. Yeah, I believe this is what I'm reading. So I think the magical runes to draw in the sand to summon Mipmaps is to set the minimum filter to be the Mipmap linear and then the mag filter to be linear. Sounds good to me. I mean, I don't know why they lie. So I think our sampler's a little bit sad at the moment. I think I need to basically build out my abstraction over some of those things so I can set them. So I guess the question is, what's the default for these, and then I'll basically default construct that and then be able to provide an overload to control it, I guess. So for the min filter, so these are all the options you can have. You can have the text. Yeah, so returns the values linear. The initial value is the mipmap linear. And the initial value of this is linear, which is this. Am I reading that right? This article suggests that the minimum filter should be mipmap linear and the mag filter should be linear. And if you go to the docs, it says min filter The initial value is mipmap linear. Mipmap linear. The initial value of mag is linear. So why is it not working is the question. I thought I was mipping and mapping. Simon, hello. Simone. Apparently I have opted to overwrite those. Like a fool. Like an absolute fool. Still not. Unless we think that's an aliasing artifact. The jagged lines there. It's hard to say without actually probably having decent textures. Maybe that is... We think it looks different. Oh yes, that's how do I, that's good, such a great point. What is everything using for the materials? So I only have... I've got the checkerboard material, so let's go to Lua level, and then somewhere in here, that's for the barrels. Where do I set all the materials for all these? It's a bit further down. Here we go. What's this? What's this? Here we go. Steady. Stay on target. Material. It is a material that generates a checkerboard. Would that not introduce the same issue though? Oh, because it won't sample it. Yes. Also, didn't like that anyway. Okay. Let's... What have I got any textures already in there? Hold on one moment, caller. I will be with you momentarily. Right, what have we got? Nothing great. I might... I've got this. I don't know if that would show it, or if I should just go and get another texture. Resource cache. Where's textures? Textures is lookup second in texture lookup. Let's try floor albedo. Let's go. Make our eyes bleed. I think I was changing the sampling because I thought it was introducing artifacts for the text rendering, I think. What is sad? Where's that? Give me the sadness from. Of course. Why would I not call it Blue Metal Albedo? I still don't think that's right. Let me just revert that change in sampler. Just hold that in your mind's eye. Yeah, it's not right, is it? What was if we explode? Oh, Jesus. So once we change this to the recommended way for what we were doing, so min filter should be linear mipmap linear, and this should be linear. Yeah, I'll just download a checkerboard pattern in a minute. I just couldn't bother because then I got to transfer over and fight with the zone files and but yeah, let me just find a Okay, let's do checkerboard pattern. Oh, this looks quite high. I'll pinch one of those. Oh no, let me. Right, okay, what's going on? Size large. Save image as. Check. Into project. Steady. Home. Projects. Game. Assets. Oh, it's an AVIF file. The bloody hell's one of those. Yeah, well, actually, I do want to try running the packer under wine to see if it runs any faster, because I think that might be part of our problem. one of our many problems. Download. Okay. And then copy that to Nathan projects game assets. There's the bugger. Get rid of that. Okay, fine. So let's do actually. So if we can I do wine? RF build resources. Can I do wine this? Oh, and I got to name it sRGB. Sorry, and I am paying attention to what you're saying. Oh, does that just like generate it for all of them then? Oh, that's definitely quicker. I don't know. Let's see if we can. I just got to expand this first. Image magic make 1 channel ping 3 channel. I don't want to separate them. I just want to. I really hate how complex everything is in life. You can put OpenGL support setting sampler data straight on the texture, but I choose to separate them out and bind the sampler object separately. That's just like a design decision I made. Again, it's not. So that's why you've probably seen that, because I think canonically most people just attach sampler information to the texture, but I wanted to keep them separate. Just bear with me while I really struggle with everything in my life. What was I with? Right. We'll get there in a minute. I promise you. Right. Okay, so download that. And then we will copy that over to the assets. We'll delete those. Yes. And then we'll do dot sRGB. Okay, right. That is a lot. That is unbelievably quicker, which is nice. I'm just gonna update that whilst I remember. Nope. Add another dependency. Of course, I've got to load it in, haven't I? Game blue metal will read check from the resource pack. Okay. I think we're near there. What started off as a this won't take long is already at risk of running into 2 streams. But then I have to open Blender, and I know someone was saying this earlier, they missed the Blender streams, but thoughts? I should probably make this, whatever this here is, that as well. What is this when it's at home? It's gonna be like another floor, hasn't it? Lua level. Let's just make everything. Eye bleedy horrible. We think on YouTube that this is indeed wrong. A Mr. Piss Milker, or Mrs. Sorry, seems to think this is gross. That. The problem is I don't have these set to like repeat. Oh, sorry, I have these set to stretch, not to repeat. So I don't know if that's making it worse. Somewhere on here will be like the watermark from the image that I stole as well. Borrowed. So we thinking this is not mip mapping. Hello, Mister. I was going to just abbreviate it to the last part of that, but that's somehow worse. Okay, fine. So let's sampler. This is not sampling for us. Let's go back and check. Am I definitely doing this right? So let's do GL sampler parameter I. Because there's no DSA equivalent like alternative to this, because it doesn't I don't think make any sense. You just get back the integer handle. So we're thinking Yeah, I feel like I don't. Do we think we have this on the left? It's kind of hard to say. I'm wondering if I should. What's the in other words, assets barrel frag. How do I make this repeat more? Then I sample this like times that by 2 or something like that. Yes, that's if you're setting it on the texture, right? So that is geotext. If you've got whatever you've bound to geotexture 2D, but bear in mind I have separated out the sampler, so I want to use GeoSampler parameter on the sampler that I've created, and I then assign to the texture. It basically just becomes this object, right? Is this right? I want that to be multiple times. But I can't remember if that's the right rune for it. Doesn't matter. It's so quick to make. I might have to disable the font rendering and open it up in RenderDoc because RenderDoc doesn't like my font rendering. Around, hello. We are having graphics issues, so I'm glad you're here. Okay, so that means it should squash it in more. Can't. I am failing to mip and or map. At best, we have mapped. We have certainly not mipped. The problem is that is this what I feel like I'm it's the simple material, obviously. I have like pretty poor naming convention for most of the stuff, as it's all been done quite organically. Because I use Windows native font rendering, which has some ties into direct draw, RenderDoc gets real grumpy when it's got an OpenGL context and it thinks you're using something in DirectX. But we might be able to just disable the font rendering because like we need RenderDoc. Do I even have RenderDoc installed? I do. Let's just have a quick go to see whether this works or not. Working directory command line .x1920. Working directory will be build wherever the resources folder is. Yes, it does not like that. Yes, I think that's. I'm hoping if I can just spin up RenderDoc, then we should be able to see that, and I don't have to faff around. That's a little more dense, isn't it? I think let's go absolutely mad on that, just so we can definitely see it. Ignore that bit. I am enjoying. I never thought I'd enjoy packing resources, but this is fast. I don't know why it has to do a really build between each one, but sorry, I do. I just wish it could cache it, but hey ho. I think because I switched to a debug build for the main game, it's like, oh, I better rebuild everything. Whilst this is going on, let's for text factory. What do I need to return from this? Is it a texture? I wonder if I can just like where is it? Menu. Interesting to see if that makes a difference. Build it. Possibly, like there's a million one things we could do, and I think it's probably a good suggestion. But again, it's like, do I want to spend time on doing it when it's actually probably not a massive issue at the moment? Yes, you're right. Good spot. No, that pause menu is driven from. The easiest thing to do is just search for text factory, isn't it? Lua level. Here you go. Yes, you're right. Oh yes, just have this massive amount of undefined behavior. Right, now that I've nobbled that, I must find out. I need some sort of global way of disabling font, probably in the text factory itself. It should just like have a CMake option so I can build it without font rendering, and then it just returns like an empty texture or something like that. Nice to haves. Let's just see if we can get it working first. Might be a fun end of stream thing. Okay, right. Yeah. That looks rubbish. Ignore that bit. Just walk over that bit. We are neither mipping nor mapping. See if I can launch this in render.doc now. Okay, that's good. So that's oh, it's trippy. Okay. Let's have a look at our, so this is the post processing. So this is post processing. So this is the HDR and gamma and all that gubbins. Okay, so where do we draw the floor? Oh. This here is the floor. Inputs are this. So where do I see the samplers? Pipeline state into the raster. Nope, fragment shader. Samplers. Here we go. So it's definitely It's definitely got the filter set, right? Do we all agree? So I guess the other issue then is the texture. How does one... It looks like it hasn't got the Mipmaps generated. I assume if you had MIPs, they would appear here, right? So why have we not? Yeah, I'll keep it for now. Let's see. So OpenGL generate Mipmaps. GL generate Mipmap. Right? I feel like this is ooh, steady. Ooh, Jesus Christ. I just hate computers. Specify the target to which the texture object is bound for generating. That's the type. Specifies the texture object name for GL generate texture bitmap. Generates bitmaps for the specified texture object for generate. Target for generate texture is the name of the texture object. For cube map and cube map are types texture. Like I call this, right? Have I just, unless I've missed one? It's got nothing in the notes about like when to call it before or after you send the data, like as soon as you've created it. So I shouldn't need to activate it. You should only need to activate it if you're using the target, right? Because you would bound it to one of these, whereas I'm using the DSA one where you just work purely on a handle, is my understanding. Like I'm not an expert in any of this. I am largely figuring this out as I go along. You shouldn't need to check the return value because I've got the debug gubbins installed, right? So it's the debug callback handler thing. So if any of the methods do return, I think they automatically invoke the debug handler. Yeah, so I'm basically not using GL get error, whatever it is. This is specify the target to which the texture object is bound. So if I bound the target to texture 2D, then yes. The question is, yes, do I still have to activate it through this? I'm assuming no, because all the other functions just work on the handle without having to bind it to this mystical state machine. Generate texture Mipmap not working. Right. Who else has suffered through this? Invalid texture data, incorrect OpenGL format settings, issues with the texture's base level not being set, or a mismatch between data and a specified format. Use an appropriate GL format, including GL RGB and GL RGBA. Nailed it. Do I need one of these things like MIP levels or something? I would have bound. I'm pretty sure I would have bound the right one because I think they have different argument types. One takes an enum and one takes an int, so it shouldn't do it. But this is definitely generate texture mipmap. Here we go. Okay, we think we're there. So GL storage 2D. Here you go, levels. Specify the number of texture levels. Is there like a good default? 1 plus the floor of the log 2 of the max of the width of the height. I feel like I'm not saying wrong, it just feels lame. Especially when it's an integer. I suppose that's why you floor it. Okay, fine. Yes, no, you're probably right. I'm just being obtuse. 1u plus the stirred floor of the stirred log of the stirred max of the width and the height. I guess probably gonna need those everywhere. Description dot probably as well. Uh, 137 and was that 137 before they moved down? Here you go. I want this one as well. Oh, if I got width stored, let's just see if this works first. So there. This will work. No, it won't. Was it one that has a GL int? So that should be 1, and then that should be static cast GL int. Floor. Yeah, right. We should just do it that way, shouldn't we? Okay. Oh, have I changed the wrong one? Oh, did I do it on the sub one? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I'll go back and fix that. Yeah, it does not like that. Okay. Oh, is it because I've got one here? Right. Okay, fine. I have. Yeah, it's because it's the one here should be this. Sorry, I got carried away. God knows what that 0 was. I've changed. Okay. What was this before? So I'll get there. I will get there in a minute. This must be incredibly painful to watch. I do apologize. So right, that's there. That's there. That's there. And that's there. Occupational hazard. Are we mipping and mapping, do we think? It seems a little bit blurry. Do we think the sub-image argument is wrong? It does look better, but it also looks very blurry. I don't know if is that correct? True, yeah, but like we're very close. I think I may be driving open. Shocker! I might be driving OpenGL wrong. So I want 0 here, I think, because 0 is the base image level, and that is what I'm buffering in. Let's have a quick look at what render doc says. To be honest, like I might just switch back to the old texture and just see what it looks like. It might, if it's kind of good enough. Like I can already tell it's like less grim up here. I think it's because I'm quite low to the ground as well. Yeah, it might be good enough with given the actual images we're using. I sure do have MIPS now. So let's switch back to what it was. So let's first remove this and see what this looks like. Oh, I'm gonna be making resources every time now. Quite possibly, yeah. Sudo, hello. Yeah, again, like on my relentless quest to only write code that I need right here and right now. Like I needed that right here and right now. I might not need anisotropic. Anisotropic. It's one more linear than you're expecting. Yeah, it's a little bit blurry, but I think that's just a victim of this texture. So I think what we'll do is we will go out to the level and revert. What was this? To floor veto. And this will be metal albedo. Let's give it a go. Let's see. Let's see. It's a little... it does look a little bit shit. Like, it definitely doesn't shimmer. I mean, that shimmering there is aliasing. I just... not sure how I feel. What are people's thoughts? GL texture max and isotropy exe. Like where that is just a random GL flag. You're gonna have to tell me where to slap that. Yeah, it could be because it's low res texture. I guess I could export it at higher res. Man, Kingdom is hard. everything is wrong and bad. Probably going to keep it like this for now. I think it's better than it was. Oh, it's so tempting. I won't, but it was tempting because the next project will always be better. But I'm determined to finish this. Even if I don't know, I'm still having fun for now. A little random white stain that I don't smudge there. Don't know where that came from. Do I just get like an anisotrope for free? Someone is suggesting I should do gel texture max. Right. Do I still need these? I'm gonna crowdsource all my Yeah, I think we could probably just do them. Yeah, geometry might actually be better shout. Again, we can defer that to the polish stage. Can be an awful lot to do in that polish stage. Otherwise, I'm happy to comment this up and call this kind of done, quote, done, undone, and then I might see if we can quickly slap in anti-aliasing, and I think that might be quite a good result for today. And then we can do level physics, and then like done. Oh no, that looks a bit better. I think that looks like McKay out of left wing. Oh, absolutely. His first ever comment on Twitch was sorry, on YouTube was here's the magic flag that you want that makes it work. Outstanding. I'll try any value you say at this point. I'm sold. Or we'll crank this shit up to 16. Outstanding. Yeah. Anisotropic the crap out of it. No, decal system is next project. Where I want to do it with a deferred renderer. Have like bullet holes and stuff automatically, but that's next project. That looks pretty sweet. I think if we remove some of those jaggies around the edge, it might not look utter shite. Let's have a look. So let's run resource packer with wine. Add more OpenGL functions. Generate MIPS and maps. Set sampler params. I kind of want to undo a lot of this, don't I? I definitely don't want that anymore. So let's just discard that. I think I want to discard all this. Oh, it's gone now. Hope I didn't need that. I've got a 5060. I'm not not worried about that. Runs fine on my machine. Yes, of course. I assumed everything. There's no free lunch, especially with this kind of stuff. There had to be some trade-off. Nice. Okay. Okay. Right. Let's in and out. Quick, 45 minutes. Let's see if I can enable MSAA. I don't think it's too bad. Advanced. Right. I've read this article before. So yeah, something issue discrete field of pixels. They're either a color or they're not. So you end up with jaggy lines. So the idea is that you want to basically blur the colors between them, so you get a smoother edge. And the best way to do that is to sample multiple points around it and blend those colors together. And OpenGL, because OpenGL knows where the edges of all the geometry are. This is my interpretation of this technology, by the way. I'm sure I'll get it wrong slightly, but because OpenGL knows where the edges of those geometry are, you can basically instruct it to multi-sample along those edges for you and then combine the colors. I've done, is it FXAA, the one that's entirely in the post-processing effects before? It took me weeks to implement it. Like, it was a real pain, and I don't really fancy going through that. So I'm probably just gonna, oh, mother fudger. It's on So I'm gonna have to go to the window encode and enable this, right? So it's not an OpenGL thing. I mean, sure, I'm just going to enable this and hope it works, but I know it won't. I know that I'm obviously going to have to set the samples on the window itself. Yeah, window encode. We need to go into the window encode anyway to set those random enables. What else do I randomly have? I've got debug output, I've got blend, GL enable, GL multi sample. Nailed it. Good work first time. The Windows code is not that bad. It's not nearly as bad as the font rendering code, which is grim. Yeah, so you can still see like the jagged lines. I think, yeah. At least I can, especially on this border here. There's not good. There's sort of the straight lines here, yeah. Oh yeah, that's pretty jaggy. I would like to. I've done some preliminary research on decals, especially like in like a deferred renderer. I think you put them into like, I think you can basically add them to the G buffer, something question mark. I'd like to spend a couple of streams having to play around with that when we get to it. I don't need to go full whatever it is they had in Doom where they wrote that like crazy decal system. Okay, Win32 window multi-sample. How do you make multiple? No, I don't want multiple windows. I probably could just ask the Oracle. I suspect it will know. Activating multi-samples on OpenGL. Win32. Ooh, have I got to enable it on the frame buffer as well? Okay, I'm looking at this geezer here. This cheesy geese has had the same issue that I've had. So in his attributes, he has just set samples and then kind of gone off on his merry way. And someone's like, oh, you didn't enable it. Do something with the frame buffer? That's one step at a time. Where is my I think it's in the wiggle choose pixel format. Here we go. I want wiggle sample buffers ARB. I'll have one of those. And then wiggle samples. Go 8. No, I've not tried OS Dev. I think I might have done a little bit at university, but I've not really. It interests me, but it's a massive time sink and just more time than I have to spend on a project. It's rendered to a texture with NSA resolve buffer attached. I think that's what they were suggesting because I do render to a frame buffer anyway before I think that might be the option. I think I'm missing that. I think OpenGL frame buffer MSA. Where's my game gone? that has definitely not done it, which is fine because I'm not rendering to the back buffer. I'm just blitting to the back buffer once I've done the post-processing. So I think actually I'll leave that there anyway, just because for funsies. Frame buffer. Right. Here we go. Geo create frame buffer. I think I want this. GL named render buffer storage multi-sample. Bless you. Because I have a named render buffer, right? Wow, wait until we put it into here. The OpenGL named render buffer multi-sample. That's advanced, isn't it? I don't want that. I just want multi. There's multi-sample, multi-sample EXT, multi-sample coverage, and multi-sample advanced AMD. Nope, you are wrong. It is not. And I'm inclined to agree with you, but I should go with what's in the docs. So, them's the breaks. So do I just literally just sort of slap this here then? I guess what, a handle, and then samples, and I was at 8. Internal format, that would be RGBA. And then width and height. Could even work. I have to switch to Vulkan because they can't spell. I will not be switching to Vulkan. OpenGL till I die. I'm bringing it back. I'm going to make OpenGL and C++ cool again. It sure did not like that. Render buffer does not refer to an existing render buffer object. I'm pretty sure it does. Pretty sure it does. It's true, but I still think like there's probably enough ASDO to get by, right? Like I think it's still I'm not an expert in this, but like my understanding is like there's some progress made in that area. So I'd be tempted to kind of look more towards that because you've got what is it, indirect rendering? What's the one where you build the command buffer basically on the compute shader, so you can do all your like culling stuff there? Is it indirect rendering? Well, and this is it, right? I think I don't need Vulkan. Like I don't need, like I could probably use like OpenGL 1 for what I want to do. Not that I will. Do you know what I mean? Like I definitely don't need that level of performance. So what's it like this? Does render buffer does not refer to an existing render buffer object? But you know what I mean? Like immediate mode or whatever they call it. Like, you know, where you're just like pushing vertexes straight to the GPU. Like as a sort of general example of like the level of compute complexity I'm kind of going for. Right, what's this when it's at home? If I definitely... So named render buffer storage multi-sample. Let's... Is anyone who's using this? Give me... I'm not entirely convinced. I've got my... Oh, hang on. Ooh. Let's... If you go, whichever one of these takes in the frame buffer type. I'll just search for it. This have to be GL RGB 16F. Is that why? Interesting. Okay. So is that here you're referring to? Because I just create the texture through this. So I don't actually call GL text image 2D anywhere. Can I create a multi-sample texture through create textures? Because I guess it still needs to know, presuming there's additional storage requirements potentially for the multi-samples or something, or it needs to do something else. So I do wonder if GL create texture multi-sample. Oh, is it just under here? Does this just need to become multi-sample? Obviously this won't work for the depth buffer. So do I need to... I need to slap this in here. I assume you don't multi-sample the depth buffer anyway. It does not like that. It's not one of the supported ones. Okay, so how does one... Can I not use DSA and create a multi-sample? Surely. Surely I can. Oh, can I not? Can you? Can one not? Yeah, I've got that here, but you can't, it won't let you use that with the DSA create texture, only if you use the old school gen texture and then bind it, which I've been trying to avoid. I'm trying to use the modern way. So unless do I just then use the multi-sample one of this? GL text storage to do. Hang on. Yeah, okay, fine. So I can still create the texture to D, that is fine. But OpenGL GL texture storage 2D GL texture storage 2D multi-sample proc multi-sample. And that takes target samples, just this magic 8 that's floating around on my code. That's fine, don't worry about it. And specifies whether the image will use identical sample locations and the same number of samples for all the texels in the image, and the sample location will not depend on the internal format or size of the image. Thoughts, feelings? True, false, somewhere in between? All good spot. I'm gonna go with where the image will use identical sample locations and the same number of samples for all texels in the image, and the sample location will not depend on the internal format. I'm going to go with like GL false. I feel like nope, not there. I feel like if it can do different samplings in places, it should. I have a Dell something or other. It's pretty good. It's probably not the best 4K monitor in the world, but it sure is one. I have a. Are you going to tell me what it is? A Dell U4320Q. God damn it! Not the Dell. At this. Oh, that died somewhere else. That just crashed. Luckily, I got this hanging around. Sorry, that was a little bit distracted. I apologize for not giving you a better answer. Oh no, that's running the resource packer. Oh no, and it's running the slow one. Stop. Hope for the best. All right, let's try again. Yes, I'm aware. We won't mistakes. Some more than others. Oh wow. I've already got render buffer storage multi-sample. We've already done that. That's what it was complaining about in the first place. It doesn't like this. It's like you've not given me a valid handle, even though I definitely had. Why is I change something? Yeah, might do. Ah, here we go. Oh, so it is an OpenGL call. It's decided just to what? Just not catch it and log it. Right, okay. I don't think I can use DSA for this, which is really upsetting because it's going to massively change my architecture, which is, I think, it might not actually. It might not. So for this here, we're going to have to make this a little bit of a special snowflake, which is fine. So I want the old school way of doing it, which is what? GL gen texture. Textures 1U handle. And then I think I just need to bind that, right? GL bind texture to GL texture 2D multi-sample. Does it? I didn't see that. Okay, fine. Let's try again because like I tried this and I didn't think it worked because Oh, it does say multi-sample. Okay, fine. I missed that. I thought I had a different. I thought I had an error from this. Maybe something else I've done. I'd be very surprised if you couldn't do this. I'm also a little bit upset that my exception handling seems to have basically stopped. So I'm back to the original error now, which is here. It's saying that the render buffer does not refer to an existing render buffer object. Let's just look at the docs for this. So if you get what we're getting, a invalid operation is generated if samples is greater than the maximum number of parcels supported by the internal format, or is generated by a function if render buffer is not the name of an existing render buffer object, but like it is. Sorry, I feel like I'm pleading with the computer a little bit here, but like I've created it. And I've even set stuff on it. Unless, do I need to do it before I bind anything to it? That'd be lame. That's what we're doing. We're giving it a go. Nifoxic? Glad to hear. I'm having a terrible time of it. Oh, at least I got my exception back. Yes, 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 yes. Render buffer is different to frame buffer. Here you go. This is what I want, isn't it? Attach a render buffer as a logical buffer of a frame buffer object. Is that what I want? So then do I need to GL gen render buffers? Is there no create? So what I think I want then is GL GL create render buffer. Right. Create render buffer GL create render buffers. And then for that, I then want. Oh, I've got to set all the storage and everything for it. Oh no, that's fine. I'm just reading here. So it's the equivalent of using the multi-sample one with sample set to 0, but I already set that, so that's fine. Okay, and then I want the whatever the one that like smashes them together at high speed. So that's the no, that is a lowercase b. I was wrong. And then I want the named frame buffer render buffer. Named frame buffer render buffer. Possibly, quite possibly. Oh yeah, well done. I will need to tidy this up a bit, but let's move this out here. So let's do GL uint GL create render buffers 1 RB, set that to RB, and then do GL named frame buffer render buffer. one of my favorites. Oh, I've lost the top of this now. I've got so many tabs open. Handle GL frame buffer. Render buffer target. Oh my goodness. Must be this. Okay, fine. I do like it when an argument must be that, and then RB. See if that works. What could go wrong? This says it wants the frame buffer first and then the render buffer. I must admit, we need to go away and remind myself exactly the difference between the render buffer and the frame buffer. I think the render buffer is like the backing storage. Isn't it more efficient to have a standalone render buffer because you can basically say I'm never going to read from it or something like that? Question mark? Yeah, the do is like the only macro I have in the entire game. It's an X macro, which just allows me to declare the signatures for the OpenGL functions once, and then I have another bit of code which reads through, which basically processes that X macro and resolves them. So it finds all the symbols. So yeah, it's probably glad we'll be doing something similar under the hood. Attachment does not specify a valid attachment. Frame buffer 26. Okay, let's see what does it say. It's under attachment. Attachment. Specify the logical attachment of the frame buffer and must be. Oh, I see. No, I've misread. Yes. Okay. So do I do this instead of this? So I basically say rather than using a, I think that's it. You're basically saying rather than using a texture, you're using a separate allocated blob of memory. Yeah, I probably should have read up on that first, but do it live. Just do it live. I hope I can mix and match and have an image text buffer, depth buffer, because I really can't bother to do this twice. God damn it. Because a bound frame buffer is not frame buffer complete. It's not frame buffer complete. Absolutely. Whoa. Okay. That's in the renderer. This is very much organic. Okay, let's have a look at the article because I'm almost certainly just missing some rune. OpenGL contain images. They're created to use specific frame references. They optimize for use as render targets, while textures may not be, and other logical choice when you do not need to sample in post-processing from the produced image. That's annoying because I do need to sample it because I have a post-processing shader. So am I kind of out of luck here? Well, hang on, but this suggests that I use the render buffer instead of a texture, right? So why would I attach a texture if I was then going to replace it with a frame buffer, right? So again, I'm using DSA, so I shouldn't, as my understanding is, I shouldn't need to be binding stuff around. Yeah, I want that, don't I? Because aren't I going to be... I think this might not work, okay, because my reading of this is they optimize for users' random targets while textures may not, and the logical choice when you do not need to sample, i.e. in a post-process shader. I do need to sample this because I do have a post-processing shader from the produced image. Oh, okay, fine. So does that mean effectively, do I just split it? I think I might need to find just a better example of doing this. Like there must be a way of doing it. So it's OpenGL, render, buffer, MSA, and post-process. What's this geezer saying? I use do default FBO render type my sample. So you can blit the frame buffer to another one. So I'll need effectively a downsampled one. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this is slightly more involved than I was expecting. That's fine. I think I'd like to get it rendering with anti-aliasing at the moment. What I might do is just disable the post-processing. So and then just do V1. I think dot. So it'd be nice if I could have the anti-aliasing working and then just blip that straight to the frame buffer, and then we can just introduce another frame buffer later to resolve it. I think that's kind of where I want to go with this, just to prove it works. I just want to just check I've got everything set up. But this is something I should have set up at the beginning rather than leaving till much later. Bound frame. Right, I think I'm gonna leave this here for now, because I think I just need to go and do a bit of reading on this before Wednesday. But that's fine. I'm actually quite pleased with where we got, so I won't do a build today. GitHole. Oh, before everyone goes, I think I have freebies. I think there's I do have wiggle samples set to that. So I'm hoping it might just kind of work. Anyway, I jumped into a slightly unfamiliar area to me with very zero prep. So actually, I think for kind of building out a little bit of understanding of the problem and learning some new OpenGL primitives, I don't think that's a bad way to spend the last hour. And I'm quite pleased that we got the MIP mapping working in the first hour. So I don't think a terribly unproductive stream. Wednesday we will continue and we'll do more, as always. We'll get this done next stream, I'm sure. I probably just need to go away, just quietly read up about it. Can I gift? I can. We'll see who wins. So YouTube allows me to gift 1 month memberships, 10 a month of 1 month membership trials in batches of 5, obviously. So congratulations. Hello. There's a few extra bits on the Discord, early access to videos, which will be, I'm hoping to film the next video next week. We're just waiting for the community challenge to finish on Discord at the moment, which will finish at the end of the day, and then I can script up and do a video, which will be fun and exciting, and a good time will be had by all. It's I get a cut either way, so it's up to you, my friend. Otherwise, I will hang around for a bit on Discord and we'll chat, and I will think hard. I'm actually kind of working my way through another video at the moment, but it's incredibly complicated, so I could probably do with a bit of a break from that and do some of this and do some filming. So yeah, it'll be good. Queco, thank you very much. Very kind of you. Started a hype train just as I'm about to sign off, which is exciting. Perfect time, impeccable timing. But you guys will get ad free, I think. Is that the pot of gold at the end of the Twitch rainbow? Yes, congratulations. You should definitely all come back Wednesday, where I will continue to stumble my way through the OpenGL docs and make something that looks good. Exciting. Well, thank you very much, Greco. Very kind of you. And yes, I'll see you all anon.